After the All-Heaven cultivators fell into the Alliance's trap, the Alliance forces immediately launched a counterattack. A powerful expert known as Black Fiend Devil Saint appeared and confronted Master Flamespark. The 18 Lufu blood spheres descended from the sky, instantly releasing an overwhelming pressure that covered the battlefield. The pressure had no effect on the All-Heaven cultivators because their blood resonated with the treasure, causing red light to glow around them. However, every Alliance cultivator felt an unimaginable force crushing them from all directions. Their blood surged violently through their bodies. All sounds except their pounding heartbeats disappeared, and even their vision became blurred. The 18 Lufu had been refined by the two ancient families over tens of thousands of years using blood gathered through endless sacrifices. They originated from the ancient Mount Lufu, where every cultivator had mysteriously died after all the blood in their bodies was drained, leaving behind a massive blood sphere. Ancient cultivators later studied this phenomenon and developed the Lufu blood technique. Although extremely difficult to refine and impossible to mass produce, each Lufu created one layer of pressure, making the combined 18 spheres capable of producing an almost unbearable suppression. Cultivators who merged their own blood into the Lufu not only escaped the pressure but also temporarily increased their cultivation. Seeing this, the Black Fiend Devil Saint prepared to destroy the treasure. But Blood God suddenly emerged from the void, laughing as he blocked the Black Fiend Devil Saint's path. At the same time, Master Flamespark calmly pointed toward the tunnel connecting the Alliance and the All-Heaven star system. Inside the All-Heaven star system, tens of thousands of cultivators had already gathered around a colossal piece of heaven-piercing wood measuring 100,000 feet long and 10,000 feet wide. This divine wood had been discovered by the Thunder Celestial Temple 30,000 years earlier and was rumored to be a remnant of the celestial tree that once supported the ancient celestial realm. While the other three celestial realms had lost their heaven-piercing wood during the collapse of the celestial realm, the Thunder Celestial Realm had managed to preserve theirs. Rich celestial spiritual energy flowed from the wood, and after keeping it hidden for countless years, the Thunder Celestial Temple finally deployed it as a devastating weapon against the Alliance. Tens of thousands of cultivators shouted in unison while pushing the enormous heaven-piercing wood forward. Powerful experts such as the Shang family ancestor and the Gongsun family middle-aged cultivator personally assisted from behind. The giant wood gradually accelerated through the tunnel until it became a terrifying storm capable of piercing everything before bursting into the western region of the Alliance star system. Its speed generated deafening whistles that shook the minds of everyone nearby. The barrier formed by countless spatial cracks was unable to withstand the impact. Endless explosions echoed as enormous ripples spread across space, while the heaven-piercing wood violently smashed through the barrier and forcibly opened a passage. A massive army of All-Heaven cultivators immediately followed behind it with overwhelming killing intent. Alliance cultivators arriving through transfer arrays attempted to escape, but the violent storm generated by the heaven-piercing wood pulled them toward it before they could react. Many were directly struck, causing both their physical bodies and origin souls to be completely destroyed, leaving behind only insignificant clouds of blood. The heaven-piercing wood was revealed to be the second great treasure prepared by the All-Heaven cultivators after the 18 Lufu. But their preparations did not end there. As the heaven-piercing wood broke through the spatial barrier, a terrifying roar suddenly erupted from the tunnel connecting the two star systems. The roar spread throughout the western region, violently shaking the Alliance cultivators, with many bleeding from all 7 orifices under its power. Soon afterward, a gigantic cultivation planet appeared within the tunnel, surrounded by strange white mist. As the mist rapidly dispersed, the planet split open down the middle, revealing countless enormous tentacles. The terrifying creature hidden inside was the Moongazer Serpent. Its eyes were blood red with endless rage, and its tentacles whipped through space as it charged out of the tunnel. Opening its enormous mouth, it unleashed a furious roar that transformed into a devastating storm. The surrounding spatial cracks were blown backward like scraps of paper. However, as the shockwave reached the heaven-piercing wood, a yellow barrier resembling an eggshell appeared around it, allowing the roar to split harmlessly around the divine wood without causing any damage. The Moongazer Serpent's wrath was so overwhelming that even space itself collapsed. The twisted space forced the heavenly Tao Origin Saint, one of the Alliance's 4 saints, out of hiding in a rather disheveled state. His expression immediately darkened after seeing both the heaven-piercing wood and the enraged Moongazer serpent emerge from the tunnel. Realizing the danger, he retreated without hesitation. However, just as he began to flee, the heaven-piercing wood arrived, and the Shang family ancestor together with the Gongsun family middle-aged cultivator rushed out to intercept him. Laughing loudly, the Shang family ancestor waved his sleeve, instantly creating a massive red wind that sealed an area of 5,000 kilometers and prevented the heavenly Tao origin saint from escaping. At this point, the Great War fully erupted across the western and northern regions of the Alliance. Countless magical treasures illuminated the battlefield as waves of divine techniques spread across enormous distances. Every moment of carelessness resulted in immediate death for cultivators from both sides. The Moongazer serpent appeared capable of distinguishing friend from foe, rarely harming all heaven cultivators while relentlessly slaughtering Alliance cultivators, placing the Alliance at an immediate disadvantage. Meanwhile, Wang Lin continued advancing through the western region. Lei Ji, whose body had shrunk to only 30 feet tall, led the group in front, followed by the big-headed boy. While Ta Shan silently observed everything with his usual cold expression, Wang Lin remained calm as they advanced. Along the way, many Alliance cultivators encountered the group. Most immediately sensed their terrifying cultivation and fled without hesitation. Those who believed themselves strong enough or relied on their superior numbers attacked instead. But every single one of them was effortlessly killed by Wang Lin. Blood stained the path behind the group as they continued deeper into the western region. Although Wang Lin himself released no visible killing intent, Lei Ji, the big-headed boy, and Ta Shan radiated overwhelming murderous auras, advancing like three sharp blades that cleared every obstacle before them. As Wang Lin surveyed the devastated surroundings, he saw the once familiar western region completely ruined. Space had collapsed everywhere, and countless spatial cracks continuously whistled through the void. Yet whenever these deadly cracks approached Wang Lin, an invisible force gently pushed them aside. Such precise manipulation of natural law normally belonged only to Nirvana cleanser cultivators. Although Wang Lin had not reached that cultivation stage, the heaven-defying bead granted him a faint aura resembling that of a Nirvana cleanser, allowing him to display a trace of law control far beyond his actual cultivation. At that moment, Wang Lin's divine sense suddenly detected a beautiful woman dressed in purple desperately fleeing through the stars. Her sword light had grown dim, showing she had nearly exhausted her strength and could collapse at any moment. Closely pursuing her was a group of Alliance cultivators led by a sneering middle-aged man. The instant Wang Lin saw the woman with his divine sense, he immediately recognized her. Zifeng was separated from her family after the massive collapse in the Alliance star system and found herself trapped in a hellish battlefield where Alliance cultivators were slaughtering all heaven cultivators. Because of her extraordinary beauty, she immediately attracted the attention of several Alliance cultivators who began pursuing her. Already injured by the previous collapse, she desperately fled while her injuries grew worse with every moment. A middle-aged cultivator chasing her sneered as he took out a golden needle from his storage bag and hurled it at her. Laughing arrogantly, he declared that Zifeng would become his 19th cultivation furnace and boasted that he had never before enjoyed an all-heaven female cultivator. Seeing the golden needle about to strike her, Zifeng turned around and formed a seal, releasing a silver light to block the attack. However, the golden needle instantly pierced through the silver light, causing her to cough blood and be blasted backward until her face became deathly pale. Just as the middle-aged cultivator was about to capture her, an icy voice echoed across the stars with only 2 words, "Back off." Although simple, those words contained the power of Wang Lin's newly comprehended law and transformed his will into reality. To the middle-aged cultivator, the voice sounded like countless thunderbolts exploding inside his mind. His ears buzzed violently, his heartbeat accelerated uncontrollably, and it felt as though a terrifying will had invaded his body. Unable to resist, he coughed blood and was forced to retreat. Fear overwhelmed him because he completely lost control of his body, as though the world itself had ordered him to obey. He felt that even the slightest resistance would result in his immediate death. The same terrifying will swept through the surrounding Alliance cultivators pursuing Zifeng, forcing all of them to retreat like leaves caught in a storm. Those whose bodies could not endure the pressure exploded one after another, their flesh collapsing into blood mist. Even their origin souls failed to escape. disintegrating together with their bodies before being forcibly extracted from the void. The shattered souls transformed into black rays of light that flew into Wang Lin's body, where they were sealed within his 18 layers of hell. Zifeng was completely stunned by the sudden reversal and silently watched the figure of Wang Lin calmly walking toward her. Wang Lin merely glanced at the retreating cultivators. The law he had just comprehended had merged with his words, allowing his voice itself to become law and manifest as an irresistible force of will. The middle-aged cultivator instantly recognized that Wang Lin was one of all heaven's supreme experts. But before he could even speak, his body completely collapsed during the forced retreat. His origin soul escaped his destroyed body and began dissipating. At that moment, a feminine voice echoed from the void, praising Shu Mu as the thunder celestial of all heaven. A middle-aged man with an earth-yellow complexion stepped out from the distant stars, followed by countless black shadows resembling an enormous cloak spreading across space. The newcomer was the six-fingered cultivator, soul servant Jotien. His arrival immediately disrupted Wang Lin's will, allowing the middle-aged cultivator's heavily damaged origin soul to stop dissipating and flee. Although more than half of it had already vanished, Wang Lin remained expressionless and casually waved his hand, summoning a gust of wind that transformed into countless heavenly chops before merging into a single terrifying slash that pursued the escaping origin soul. Jotien smiled strangely and pointed with his finger, causing the endless black shadows behind him to surge forward and intercept Wang Lin's heavenly chop. Thus began a contest of divine techniques, with the fate of the escaping origin soul hanging in the balance. When the heavenly chop collided with the countless shadows, an earth-shaking explosion erupted throughout the starry sky. Since Wang Lin had gained enlightenment and law, the heavenly chop now displayed its true power, capable of cutting through all laws. Every shadow that touched the heavenly chop immediately collapsed and disappeared. In almost an instant, all of Jotien's shadows were destroyed, and the heavenly chop continued directly toward the origin soul. Jotien's expression changed. He immediately condensed all remaining shadows into a tiny black sphere that radiated an aura capable of shaking the mind itself. The sphere pierced through space toward the heavenly chop while Jotien simultaneously waved his hand, generating a powerful force that swept the escaping origin soul far into the distance. Confidently, Jotien declared that no one could kill someone he intended to save. Wang Lin ignored both Jotien and his declaration. He calmly stepped forward, disappearing into rippling space. Jotien's eyes immediately narrowed. Far away, the fleeing origin soul believed it had escaped and became overjoyed, only for Wang Lin to suddenly appear directly in front of it. Wang Lin calmly threw a single punch and uttered one word, "Shatter." The origin soul immediately trembled violently, as though it had become a sand sculpture struck by an invisible force, before completely disintegrating into countless fragments within a violent spatial storm. Watching this, Jotien's eyes shone with a strange light. He immediately shifted his attention to Zifeng and pointed toward her. Several black shadows shot toward her while Jotien declared that if Wang Lin wished to save the woman, he would ensure Wang Lin failed. Zifeng's face turned pale as she rapidly retreated. Throughout the entire exchange, Wang Lin's expression never changed. He remained as calm as still water, showing neither anger nor satisfaction as he coldly observed Jotien's actions. Wang Lin then took a single step, instantly appearing beside Zifeng, and smashed the incoming shadows apart with one punch. Looking at Jotien, Wang Lin calmly stated that Jotien was free to kill Zifeng if he wished, but not while she stood before him, with killing intent filling his eyes. Wang Lin immediately charged toward Jotien. Jotien sneered, rapidly formed seals, and condensed the surrounding shadows into a massive black axe. Grabbing the axe, he hurled it at Wang Lin while shouting, 10,000 soul devour. Wang Lin simply stepped forward and answered with another punch. The giant black axe exploded upon impact, breaking apart into countless shadows that scattered in every direction before charging at Wang Lin from all sides. Wang Lin remained completely composed. He raised one finger toward the sky, instantly summoning all thunder within a radius of 5,000 kilometers. Endless bolts of lightning gathered together in a single instant, transforming the surrounding starry sky into a boundless sea of thunder. Thunder rumbled across the world as bolts of lightning descended before Wang Lin, instantly destroying the tens of thousands of illusory shadows. Jotien formed a seal, pointed between his eyebrows, and black patterns spread across his face. He shouted, "Soul, kill!" causing a black ring to appear above his head and rapidly expand toward Wang Lin. When the ring reached Wang Lin, it transformed into countless black threads that entered his body. But Wang Lin shattered them instantly with a single shake and continued advancing without slowing down. He appeared before Jotien and threw a punch. Jotien quickly retreated while taking out a purple light from his storage bag and crushing it. The purple light surrounded him, then exploded, allowing him to retreat even faster. Wang Lin merged with the world through a single step, reappeared beside Jotien, and unleashed a devastating kick that struck him directly. Jotien's body exploded into a mist of blood, but his feminine voice echoed from the void as countless purple shadows rushed into Wang Lin's body, attempting to seize his origin soul. As they approached, Wang Lin's origin soul opened its eyes. The ancient god leather armor released an ancient aura that fused with the origin soul, producing a powerful backlash. The invading purple shadows were struck by the backlash, screamed miserably, and attempted to flee, but Wang Lin's ancient thunder dragon origin soul pursued them, inhaled, and devoured part of the escaping shadows. Purple gas surrounded Wang Lin while the remaining shadows condensed into an illusory figure 100 feet away. Wang Lin decided to test his new spell and calmly cast Magic Arsenal. A strand of celestial origin energy emerged from his celestial core, gathered into a golden sphere in his hand, and was thrown into the air. Countless golden specks filled the world, causing space itself to tremble before transforming into innumerable illusory souls. This was the first time Wang Lin had used Magic Arsenal. Every shadow was the soul of someone Wang Lin had personally killed, imprisoned within the 18 layers of hell instead of entering reincarnation. Each soul radiated overwhelming resentment, filling the world with terrifying killing intent. Jotien was shocked by the countless souls. Although most could not threaten him, several figures alarmed him, including a gloomy Nirvana scryer cultivator shrouded in black mist. Hundreds of celestial souls radiating celestial spiritual energy mixed with resentment, and a Yao family soul overflowing with killing intent. Recognizing the celestial souls through his mastery of Soul Dao, Jotien realized the spell had imprisoned countless souls and prevented their reincarnation, calling it an extremely terrifying demonic technique. Suddenly, a beast-like roar echoed through the army of souls. Every shadow fearfully moved aside as a red mist advanced. A middle-aged man with red hair and a ferocious expression emerged, radiating overwhelming killing intent. Jotien immediately recognized him as Planet Tian Yun's blood ancestor. His scalp went numb with fear as he realized blood ancestor, a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, had been killed by Shu Mu and imprisoned within this spell. Understanding that every imprisoned soul had to have been personally killed by Wang Lin, Jotien abandoned all thoughts of victory and decided to flee immediately, believing he had no chance against such an opponent. Wang Lin pointed at Jotien and ordered all the souls to drag him into the 18 layers of hell. The imprisoned souls roared as the blood ancestor, enveloped in monstrous blood mist, charged first. Jotien retreated in panic. But the Yao family soul, hundreds of celestial souls, and countless soul fragments completely sealed every escape route. Driven into desperation, Jotien unleashed the ultimate form of his Soul Dao by pointing at his chest and causing his body to collapse into countless soul fragments that scattered in every direction. Having completely fused his body and origin soul into his soul, this technique allowed him to execute his strongest killing methods and escape even opponents with higher cultivation if they were careless. However, Jotien regretted attempting to possess Wang Lin, as the ancient god leather armor had repelled and injured him, and Wang Lin's fierce origin soul had even devoured part of his own soul. Before he could recover, Wang Lin's magic arsenal had completely overwhelmed him. As Jotien's countless soul fragments fled in panic, the blood ancestor, the hundreds of celestial souls, and the Yao family soul pursued them relentlessly. The blood ancestor transformed into a savage beast, seizing large numbers of Jotien's soul fragments and dragging them into the blood mist. The celestial souls did the same, and within moments every fragment of Jotien's soul was captured. None managed to escape. A cold wind swept across the starry sky as countless wandering souls filled the area, their resentment reaching monstrous levels. Wang Lin calmly observed everything and gained a deeper understanding of the power of the magic arsenal. He raised his right hand and pointed upward, creating a giant vortex that sucked in all the souls. Only the blood ancestor resisted. His eyes glowed red as he roared and charged directly at Wang Lin. Killing intent flashed through Wang Lin's eyes as he clenched his fist and threw a punch. The impact halted the blood ancestor's origin soul for an instant. Taking advantage of that brief pause, Wang Lin poured more celestial origin energy into the vortex, greatly increasing its suction. The blood ancestor let out an unwilling cry before being dragged back into the vortex. The vortex gradually disappeared from the stars, transformed into a ray of light, and was absorbed by Wang Lin. Within the 18 layers of hell inside the magic arsenal, another soul was added to the 13th layer. Although only a soul fragment, it occupied the peak position of the 13th layer. It belonged to Jotien. After killing Jotien, Wang Lin calmly glanced at Zifeng before withdrawing his gaze and continuing onward. Ta Shan silently followed behind him, while the big-headed boy was no longer surprised by Wang Lin's actions. Lei Ji also quickly caught up and entered the distant stars with Wang Lin. After a moment of contemplation, Zifeng decided to follow them as well. As they traveled, Wang Lin pondered the current situation. The war between the Alliance and All Heaven had reached its climax, making it the perfect opportunity to accumulate achievements and satisfy Master Flamespark. He needed to build greater prestige among the All Heaven cultivators so that if he later encountered the All-Seer or if Tuo Sen escaped from the land of the ancient god, Master Flamespark would have no choice but to assist him. After making his decision, Wang Lin remained pessimistic about All Heaven's chances in the offensive against the Alliance. He took out a small flag from his storage bag. A flying tiger was embroidered on the flag, and when he raised it, the flying tiger emerged and released a roar that echoed throughout the stars. Activating the flying tiger flag and releasing the flying tiger openly announced Wang Lin's presence. Shortly afterward, dozens of sword lights appeared in the distance where two groups of cultivators were fighting. The All Heaven side was clearly losing as the Alliance cultivators relentlessly attacked with killing intent. Within only a few breaths, another All Heaven cultivator was killed. The remaining 7 or 8 All Heaven cultivators, already injured by earlier shockwaves and too exhausted to escape, were filled with despair. At that moment, the flying tiger's roar echoed from afar along with an overwhelming divine sense. The All Heaven cultivators turned around in shock before revealing uncontrollable joy. They immediately recognized the newcomer as Thunder Celestial Shu Mu. The Alliance cultivators had already received information about him from their elders. And one elderly cultivator recognized Shu Mu from the intelligence records. His expression changed as he coldly ordered an immediate retreat, declaring that Shu Mu was a Nirvana Scryer cultivator whom they could not defeat. Elsewhere, 3 illusory Yin cultivators were locked in battle. 2 All Heaven cultivators were fighting a single Alliance cultivator, who remained ruthless and composed despite facing 2 opponents. When the flying tiger's roar arrived, one of the All Heaven cultivators spread out his divine sense and immediately recognized Shu Mu. He was one of the people Wang Lin had previously rescued in the Thunder Celestial Realm. The Alliance cultivator also recognized the name after recalling the Alliance's intelligence reports. The Alliance had classified All Heaven cultivators into 7 threat levels, with level 1 being the weakest and level 7 the strongest. Shu Mu had been classified as a level 5 cultivator. Without hesitation, the Alliance cultivator immediately fled. As Wang Lin continued advancing, he encountered many scattered cultivators. Whenever the All Heaven cultivators saw Wang Lin and the flying tiger, they quickly approached him while respectfully greeting him as Thunder Celestial. In their eyes, Wang Lin had become a beacon of hope amid the chaos. The collapse of the western region had thrown the majority of All Heaven cultivators into panic. Many had died, while the survivors were scattered throughout the battlefield. The arrival of Alliance cultivators had only worsened their desperate situation. Wang Lin's flying tiger flag became the support for their morale, while the flying tiger's continuous roars inspired and steadied their hearts. Wang Lin also changed his approach. Whenever he encountered fighting between the two sides, he immediately attacked. Increasing numbers of All Heaven cultivators gathered around him, forming a powerful force. Most of the time, Wang Lin no longer needed to fight personally, as the cultivators following him charged forward and eliminated the Alliance forces. More and more cultivators joined his ranks until the countless sword lights beneath their feet resembled a giant sword piercing through the western region. Wang Lin's force was not the only one gathering survivors in the western region. Messengers from the Thunder Celestial Temple, the other 108 Celestials, and various cultivation families were also assembling their own groups. However, Wang Lin's force had the greatest number of cultivators. As he continued moving forward, more cultivators constantly joined him until hundreds of sword lights streaked across space. The sound of flying swords and the flying tigers roaring spread far and wide, causing Wang Lin's reputation to rapidly rise. As Wang Lin's massive force reached the center of the western region, space suddenly shook violently. Countless ripples rushed toward them from the distance, carrying an aura capable of shaking the minds of cultivators. Even the flying swords beneath the cultivators became unstable. Wang Lin narrowed his eyes and spread out his divine sense. Even with his powerful mental strength, he was startled by what he sensed. Thunderous rumbles echoed through space as a gigantic piece of wood measuring 100,000 feet long and 10,000 feet wide charged forward with unimaginable force. It possessed enough power to shake any ordinary cultivator. Countless all-heaven cultivators surrounded the enormous log, all radiating powerful killing intent. Even from an immense distance, Wang Lin could clearly sense the overwhelming smell of blood surrounding it, revealing that countless people had already died after being struck by it. Although Wang Lin had never seen such a giant piece of wood before, a single glance allowed him to understand its terrifying power. He knew that if it struck him directly, he would be severely injured and could even die if he was even slightly careless, unless he had enough warning to escape by merging with the world. However, the giant piece of wood itself was not what truly shocked Wang Lin. What caused his greatest surprise was the enormous creature following behind it, the Moongazer Serpent. Its colossal body was as large as a cultivation planet, while countless tentacles waved around it as its furious roars continuously echoed throughout the stars. The instant Wang Lin saw the Moongazer Serpent, his body trembled. The trembling came from his ancient god body. Wang Lin sensed his original body trembling, causing the ancient god stars between his eyebrows to flicker before he suppressed the reaction. Looking at the Moongazer Serpent covered with countless tentacles, he was deeply shocked. He recalled hiding inside the serpent to destroy the Yao family and realized that someone powerful enough to capture the Moongazer Serpent had sent it into the alliance as a weapon. This reminded him of the mysterious figure he had seen twice. Once during Qing Shui's battle with the Blood God, and once during the opening of the passage between the two star systems during the 108 celestial bestowments. The giant piece of wood in front of the Moongazer Serpent emitted increasingly loud whistles as ripples spread outward. The surrounding cultivators cheered and advanced toward it. Wang Lin hesitated briefly before following. As they approached, the immense size and overwhelming pressure of the giant wood became apparent. Countless cultivators flew alongside it, while fewer than 100 stood directly upon it. At the front stood Li Yunzi and the Shengong family ancestor, both exuding imposing authority. Behind them were mostly participants of the 108 celestial bestowments, along with several unfamiliar experts whose origin soul fluctuations revealed peak corporeal yang cultivation. Among them were 10 Nirvana Scryer cultivators and 3 individuals who especially attracted Wang Lin's attention because he could not see through their cultivation. A scar-faced old man in black robes, a graceful noblewoman in green palace attire with a red gem on her forehead, and an arrogant young man in white surrounded by 3 bamboo flutes creating powerful illusions. The old man smiled coldly at Wang Lin. The woman smiled with noble elegance, while the youth ignored him and continued cultivating. The cultivators on the giant wood recognized Wang Lin because of his fame as Thunder Celestial Shu Miu and the flying tiger behind him. Along the journey they encountered only small groups of battered all-heaven cultivators, while Wang Lin had gathered several hundred followers, making many realize they had assembled because of Shu Miu's reputation. Numerous cultivators discussed whether Thunder Celestial Shu Miu was qualified to step onto the giant wood. Wang Lin remained calm despite everyone's attention. Li Yunzi invited Wang Lin onto the giant wood. As Wang Lin approached, he encountered tremendous resistance. As though moving through mud, he suddenly compressed his origin energy until it nearly stopped before releasing it explosively in a single instant. The tremendous burst distorted space, collapsed everything before him, and allowed him to calmly step onto the giant wood without resistance. All the surrounding cultivators were shocked. They knew standing on the giant wood represented extraordinary status, and very few people could accomplish it. Most who succeeded relied on powerful magic treasures and spells after great effort. Yet Wang Lin stepped aboard effortlessly. Aside from Li Yunzi, the Shengong family ancestor, and the three mysterious experts, Wang Lin became only the fourth person to accomplish this with such ease. The surrounding cultivators praised Thunder Celestial Shu Mu as worthy of his reputation. Everyone on the giant wood looked at Wang Lin differently. Those who had participated in the celestial bestowment already admired him, while the others finally understood his true strength. The flute-playing youth opened his eyes and nodded in acknowledgement. The noblewoman smiled more warmly. And even the old man in black changed his attitude. The three late-stage Nirvana Scryer experts recognized that Wang Lin's explosive movement had contained not only origin energy but also a trace of law. Something few Nirvana Scryer cultivators comprehended. Although Wang Lin's cultivation was lower, they regarded him as an equal because strength alone earned recognition in the cultivation world. Wang Lin respectfully greeted Li Yunzi and then saluted the Shengong family ancestor. Before Li Yunzi could respond, the Moongazer Serpent suddenly roared violently. Its eyes alternated between confusion and clarity as it stared directly at Wang Lin. The powerful sound waves shook the minds of the surrounding cultivators. Wang Lin calmly faced it, unsurprised that it recognized him. Knowing the Moongazer Serpent never forgot those who had enraged it. And Wang Lin had provoked it twice before. The enraged beast attempted to charge forward, extending countless tentacles toward the giant wood. Li Yunzi frowned, opened a spatial rift, and retrieved an ordinary green jade. He threw it toward the Moongazer Serpent, where it shattered instantly. A thunderous voice echoed the words, "Shuan Yun Go." None of the surrounding cultivators understood the language. But Wang Lin was shocked because it was the language of the ancient gods. After understanding its meaning, even Wang Lin's expression changed despite his composure. The mysterious voice from the jade issued a command in the ancient god language, telling the Moongazer Serpent to continue forward and destroy the realm beneath the rain celestial realm, promising to grant it a body and help it escape. Hearing this, the serpent's confusion disappeared, its roar faded, and it obediently rushed ahead of the giant wood. From afar, its enormous body and countless tentacles resembled clouds covering the stars and were just as imposing as the giant wood itself. Li Yunzi noticed the change in Wang Lin's expression after the jade emitted the voice and became suspicious. Wang Lin calmly smiled and explained that the beast still hated him because he had once borrowed it to destroy the Yao family. Li Yunzi accepted the explanation and reminded Wang Lin to visit him after the battle to receive the remaining battle scrolls. Wang Lin respectfully agreed. The Shengong family ancestor then requested Shengong Hu's Dao. Wang Lin immediately released it from between his eyebrows. After examining it, the ancestor stored it away and ignored Wang Lin, focusing on the battlefield ahead. The Moongazer Serpent led the advance toward the northern region, using its countless tentacles to seize alliance cultivators, draining them until they became mummies. All heaven cultivators followed behind, collecting the victims' bags of holding and treasures. The giant wood followed closely behind at a speed comparable to teleportation, producing continuous sonic booms as both colossal beings rushed toward the battlefield. In the northern region, the Alliance had originally held the advantage under the command of Black Fiend Devil Saint. After destroying the western region, they had isolated the invading All-Heaven cultivators and cut off their reinforcements. However, Master Flamespark's counterattack and the activation of the 18 Lufu completely changed the situation. The Lufu suppressed the Alliance forces, while the giant wood broke the isolation of the All-Heaven army, allowing reinforcements to arrive and potentially secure victory for All-Heaven. Black Fiend Devil Saint fought Blood God in a devastating battle, their divine abilities shaking the stars and creating ripples that instantly killed any nearby cultivators. Seeing Blood God's strength, Black Fiend Devil Saint unleashed a giant whale formed from foul-smelling wind that devoured the surrounding origin energy before attacking Blood God. A massive purple pillar of light descended from the sky, and from it emerged the newly appointed Cloud Dragon Demon Saint, a handsome middle-aged man in yellow robes surrounded by dragon phantoms. He challenged Master Flamespark, but before Master Flamespark responded, the three ancient cultivation family ancestors intercepted Cloud Dragon Demon Saint. Master Flamespark remarked that although Blood God could fight one saint alone and the three ancestors could barely hold off the remaining early Nirvana Shatterer saints, these opponents were not the true strongest figures in the war. He looked into the void and called out Ji Shanshan. Knowing the Alliance's 4 saints never acted alone, Master Flamespark moved beside the 18 Lufu and pointed forward. Tearing open space, a jade-white hand emerged from the crack and collided with his fingers, causing the entire northern region to tremble. Both Master Flamespark and his hidden opponent were forced back. The opponent appeared to be a woman but let out a shrill scream, accusing Master Flamespark of daring to return. The scream carried terrifying origin energy that caused many All-Heaven cultivators to cough blood and die, while even one of the 18 Lufu collapsed. The origin energy from the dead cultivators and the destroyed Lufu flowed into the woman-like figure. Master Flamespark mocked Xianxia for still looking as effeminate as ever and spread endless flames that forced the surrounding All-Heaven cultivators over 5,000 kilometers away while keeping them within the Lufu's range. The full-scale battle immediately erupted. Although the Alliance had initially been stronger due to their preparation, the Lufu balanced the battlefield, making victory uncertain. Though the Alliance still maintained a slight advantage in smaller engagements, the battlefield descended into complete chaos. Alliance and All-Heaven cultivators continuously killed one another with magic treasures and spells. Retreating cultivators were struck down by stray attacks, while others were pierced by flying swords or caught in the shockwaves of powerful techniques. Even cultivators who had just slain enemies were instantly killed by Blood God and Black Fiend Devil Saint as the two supreme experts clashed while moving across the battlefield. Every death fed the Lufu. Blood and damaged origin souls were continuously absorbed by the remaining 17 Lufu, making them increasingly demonic. Tens of thousands of cultivators fought in an earth-shattering war as magic treasures flashed endlessly. Explosions filled the heavens, mournful cries echoed throughout space, and the battlefield became a true land of death. Countless spatial cracks appeared, but even the freezing winds pouring from them only intensified the ferocity of the conflict. At the center of the battlefield, Master Flamespark's flames illuminated half the region, while Xianxia summoned countless towering glaciers that confronted the Sea of Fire. Xianxia declared that although Master Flamespark had escaped tens of thousands of years ago, without Zhang Xuanzi protecting him this time, he would be killed. Xianxia appeared to be an enchanting woman, but closer inspection revealed he was actually a man. Master Flamespark calmly condensed the world's origin energy into a white flame in his hand and declared that when he had left long ago, he had sworn that if he ever returned, he would exterminate the Cultivation Alliance, regardless of whether blood filled the heavens after his death. Meanwhile, in the western region, the Moongazer Serpent continued leading the giant wood toward the northern battlefield. Standing atop the giant wood, Wang Lin watched the serpent with uncertainty. As he looked at it, a faint cold light flashed in his eyes as he silently thought of the ancient god-child.